I felt like I should have brought more packs to open. I didn't realize I was going to have such a gap of time. I don't even have anything good to talk about. I mean, I could talk about the Wander Franco rookie debacle and Bowman's best, but I feel like it's really overplayed online. Everybody's getting bent out of shape about the fact that there are a bunch of prospect cards in Bowman's best that were numbered as part of the base set, which technically, from a Beckett cataloging perspective, makes them rookie cards. And obviously, that's not normally what Topps would do, or the PA would want them to do. They would hold those players over for 22, like Wander Franco would be in Series 1 Topps and would be a rookie card. And of course, that'd be a driving feature of Series 1 Topps, besides it being Series 1 Topps, which is more than enough marketing on its own. I mean, Series 1 Topps has the biggest print run of any product in the hobby every single year, generates the most revenue, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But, people get so bent out of shape about it, because they think that the Beckett cataloging standard is archaic. And it might be, but just because something's old doesn't mean it's not right. Just because something's old doesn't mean that it's not pertinent in today's collecting environment. I say that, and I'm a little bit defensive about that. I was a Beckett staffer for many years back in the mid '90s, part of Jim's quote unquote dream team of price guide analysts that worked on the price guides from in the '90s, and I was fortunate enough to be one of those people for several years. But people get bent out of shape about it, and I always point to the Mickey Mantle rookie card. Technically his rookie card's in 51 Bowman, and but obviously the vast majority of people and the vast majority of money gravitates towards his 52 Topps card. It's a high number. It's an iconic card within the hobby. There's no disputing that. There's no way that anyone could. It's an iconic card. It sells for millions of dollars in high grade. A PSA 9 recently sold, I want to say, for 5.1 million about 4 or 5 months ago, maybe a little bit longer. But it's not his rookie card. It's not, and people will falsely, oh, Mickey Mantle's 1952 Topps rookie card. Well, no, it's not his rookie card. It's his first Topps card, but it's not his rookie card. But again, it doesn't really matter because people are going to spend their money on what they want to, regardless of what a magazine labels it or what anyone else labels it. People are going to vote with their dollars, and we'll see when 22 Topps comes out in a month or so. We'll see how people spend their money and how hotly they pursue the Wander Franco cards out of that set, and how they covet them or not covet them. And that'll kind of settle that argument. But people are just, like, my Twitter feed is filled up all day with this stuff. And it's just like, good gracious, people, can you not find something else to do with your time? Like, I enjoy a great hobby debate as much as the next person, probably more than most people, given my background in the industry and the hobby. But at the same time, sometimes you just have to agree to disagree with people. And I find as I get older, that gets much easier to do because, frankly, I don't want to waste the time trying to change someone else's mind when I'm never going to have the ability to do that. I would rather just, save my time, save my energy and my breath, and just be like, well, we're just going to agree to disagree on that point. And I'm not going to try to convince you otherwise. And you probably shouldn't try to convince me otherwise either. We should probably just go our separate ways and be done with this topic. But people just want to run that in the ground sideways. So I've been kind of staying off Twitter the last couple of weeks. It just wears me out. It is what it is. It happened. We don't know why it happened. There's a lot of theories about why, who did that. It would have been someone in the product department at Topps that did it. And, I'm not going to get into all those conspiracy theories. It is what it is. It's happened. It's done. And people will, as time goes on, decide with their dollars which of the cards is more important. And both of them may end up being equally important, and that's fine too. All right, so I'll get off my soapbox now, since it's 9:06 and it's time for our break. See if anybody's bought any more spots, and we'll get started. But I figured I would just talk a little bit about that, seems like that's a popular hobby topic. And sometimes I talk about that stuff and sometimes I don't. And honestly, I don't think people show up for my breaks to hear me talk jibber jabber on endlessly about that kind of stuff. I mean, I can, but I don't know how much value it is. I just, did it because I had 5 minutes to spare before this break. Thanks to everybody picking up those spots. I appreciate it. Looks like we're sold out. Thanks to Evan and Jim and Anthony for taking those last 80 spots we had. But again, I apologize for the soapbox, but sometimes stuff like that just wears me out. It does. And maybe it's just my impatience of being a little older. And if it is, I'll own that. I'll totally own that. I try not to be too much of a curmudgeon, but at times I am. I try to stay open-minded for the most part, especially with hobby things, because obviously our hobby environment has changed so much in the last couple of years. Probably changed more in the last 24 months than it's changed in the last 15 to 20 years for a lot of different reasons. So you have to kind of stay open-minded and agile, at least in your mind, if no other place, to try to keep up with things and keep up with what is important to people within the hobby, whether they be new people or old people or somewhere in between. Sometimes I do a good job of that, and honestly, sometimes I don't. I try to, but some days I'm better at it than others. All right, I've got a random set.